So good morning everyone. Let's start to opening prayer. Then let's bow our head and place ourselves in the presence of our Lord. Dear Lord, we stand before you in the humble prayer. Before we start with this program, International Online Seminar Conference on Fostering Positive Learning in the New Normal. We realize that without your blessings, we would not able to success with this plan we have for this activity. Bestow your grace and divine wisdom to all of us present here, so we would cooperate, enjoy camaraderie, and love for the greater glory of your name. Bless also the family of each attendees. May you grant them peace and happiness. Bless people around the world that they may enjoy peace and goodness of your love. We ask all of them through your mighty name. Amen. Sir, papatunugin na lang po natin yung national anthem. Okay lang po? Sabay-sabay po nating pakinggan ang national anthem, awitin ang national anthem po.
Ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
To formally open our program, before before we begin this seminar, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who sincerely committed to this event to make it success. This event would have been impossible without the support of everyone who present here. Yesterday, Ma'am Bernardo, Ma'am Bernard Bermundo Jennifer discussed about the fostering positive learning experience amidst pandemic, wherein students report that positive emotion facilitate learning and contribute to academic achievement, being mediated by the levels of self-motivation with the learning material. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time. I need to leave some time for Mr. Candelario F. III in order to introduce our guest speaker for today. So, a very warm welcome to each and everyone. May I call the attention of Mr. Dante F. Candelario III. Sir, the floor is yours.
Again, good morning and welcome to the second day of our online seminar with Fostering Positive Learning in Normal. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for today, Ma'am Bernadette Palos de la Cruz. She has completed her academic requirements leading to degree of Master of Arts in Education, specialized in social science. She is currently a Master Teacher 1 of Batasan Hills National High School, handling Aralin Panlipunan subject. She is the Public Information Officer of Aralin Panlipunan Master Teachers Officer in the Division of Quezon City. She has served 25 years in public school and assumed the position, namely Officer in Charge of Aralin Panlipunan Department, San Bartolome High School. Faculty President of San Bartolome High School, year level chairman, third year level coordinator of grade 9 at Batasan Hills National High School. She is a facilitator of in-service seminar training, regional level. She is also an award-winning coach of ASEAN Quiz, regional level, division level rather, population quiz B, and Econ Quiz E, national level. She is a co-author of economic book and Katobe author in the division of Quezon City, SLEM writer in Batasan Hills National High School. Likewise, speaking engagement has been one of her forte. A consistent speaker and organizer of division level LAC session. Once again, welcome our guest speaker, Bernadette Pales de la Cruz.
Hello, thank you. Thank you, Sir Dante, and good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay, let me present my piece today. So I'm sharing with you my screen. So if you have any question, you may just ask question. Turn on your mic. Okay, so am I loud and clear, sir? Sir
Yes, yes,
MC? Okay.
yes, you are.
So you are now looking at my screen. Is it clear, sir, my screen?
Very clear.
Okay. So hello. Okay, so before that, okay. So just call me Ma'am Badet. So in your Zoom, you can see that my name is Ma'am Badet, Teacher Badet. Okay, so magandang araw, mabuhay. Kahit medyo dito sa Quezon City ay mainit, pero maya-maya ay it will become cloudy and some rainfall. Okay, so actually this is my first time to use this kind of colors in Canva. It's a kind of color that I chose because it's somehow very light and good to the eye of the teachers and the student. I am used to use dark colors during the presentation, and so this is the first time that I'm gonna use this kind of background in my presentation. Why? Because my topic is about positive learning of the students. Okay, so that's why I use this kind of super cool dream. So for the students, I believe during in the elementary, high school, and of course the senior high school will love this also, this kind of background. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so of course, my topic is all about apply positive learning in the new normal. As we had yesterday, Ma'am Bermundo gave us all about the theory about the positive learning, and we'll learn a lot from her based on her experiences, the statistical data that we have now. Locally and national data. So thank you, Ma'am Bermundo, for those info, and we learned a lot. So let's get started. Okay, so getting to know you before we continue our having the learning positive. Let us first reflect ourselves as a teacher. So it's good thing that we, after, at the end of the day, as my friend always telling me, at the end of the day, you must reflect of what you have just did, what you have done. So tomorrow will be another day, and a better day, perhaps, right? So, those kind of statement when we are having this kind of thing will give us strength to do better. Okay, getting to know. Okay, first let's start. I don't think I can read all your chats in the chat box because I am my screen is okay. So you may say just quietly say yes sometimes or maybe. So I guess this is somehow important. Okay, first I'm gonna ask you consistently. Did you because the academic year 2020-2021. So let us reflect. Did you ask your class who and why certain student is absent for that day? For every class, for every meeting. At the end of before the end of the class or before you start the class, why is student X is absent? Why is she absent? Okay, you may ask your class. So, okay, did you? That is consistent. Ibig sabihin, you just don't remember, oh, I have to. No, 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 consistent. You are being consistent. This becomes your habit every class. Okay? Why is this important? Why is checking and informing and noticing your certain student if absent and the reason why is your student absent? Why is this important? Did you get the importance of this? You should answer that. Number two, consistently did you update your students of their submitted task activity every meeting? Okay, you have assigned a task, a worksheet, or a quiz, or an activity last meeting. And then the next meeting, did you update your students of their submitted tasks? Okay. Why is this necessary? Okay, you should be the one who's answering that question. Okay. Consistently, did you give feedback to your students in all their outputs? What are those feedback? How do you give feedbacks to your students? When you read their feedback, when you see their feedback, their activity or task, did you give feedback to your students consistently? What is the benefit of this? Why having or giving feedback to your students benefited your student? How? Okay. Next question. Tell me if I'm so fast kasi that is really me. I'm speaking so fast sometimes. And even myself, Mom, kindly slow down. Or you may tell me, Mom, kindly slow down because I'm really fast in talking. Okay. Okay, I will be slowing down because I'm kind of fast in talking. Consistently, did you maximize the use of chat box and read their chat? You know what is chat box? If you have messenger, a room, online classes, or classroom in your Google Classroom, did you use the chat box, other chats? Okay, maximize the use of chat and read their chat. Do you find this helpful? Reading those chats of your student. Do you find this helpful? Both for your students and of course for you. Okay. Next is consistently did you take down notes of what had occurred in your class? Okay, or section A, or what had happened in that class. Did you take down notes? Is student X gave you an excellent answer, and student Y, I declined from answering all your questions. Is student Z did something bad in your class, and did you noted all those events in your class? And student B did a marvelous concept in your class, and all your classmates agreed. Okay, how this will improve your learning strategy? So this is your benefit. No? Okay, again, take the notes. And how will this improve your learning strategy? Okay, and consistently, did you give your students equal opportunities? This is somehow difficult in online class. Give your students equal opportunities. And how? And how did you do it? Equal opportunities. And the next is, does this kind of treatment play a vital role for their future? Okay. And consistently, did you assess, evaluate their learning, and how? Of course, the teachers have a lot of strategies, method in assessing and evaluating their learning, the learning of their students, and how is the result. How do you give assessment and evaluation? Is the result achieve your objective? Do you think this result is deeply rooted that our country is needed as they become adults? So you just don't give assessment and evaluation. So it is, of course, basically it will be to have your objective, okay, and it will help them as being a good Filipino citizen. That is the key. And consistently, did you collaborate with your superiors and colleagues? Okay. Do you find collective collaboration resulted to enhancement and improvement of your teaching strategy? Take note, I use collective collaboration. Okay, so collectively, the teaching strategy, and I'll go back to my slide. Elaborate with your superiors and colleagues. Okay, so with your students amid this pandemic. Okay, please inform me if my connection is being poor kasi parang lumabas si screen ko na I am having a connection problem. Okay, so issue report to your peer guardian, positive outlook with your students amid this pandemic. So nakatulong ba your relationship, your partnership with the parents towards, because the end of the line, the students should benefit from all your activities, all your strategies, your all effort. Our target is the student, not us as a teacher, but our students. Okay, so it's not all about the teachers, it's all about our student. We are being paid for our job, and it is our job to create a positive learners, okay? Or to develop positive learners. Okay, and if your answers are all yes, then fantastic, excellent. Diba? If all your answers to all my questions are yes, and then you are excellent, and you are absolutely fantastic, and you're doing great job as a teacher, and congratulations. And why I have those kind of questions, because those are the strategies that I must admit I am not, of course, a perfect educator. We have a lot of things to learn, but those are the things that I see all the teachers are doing to have a positive learning, positive learners. Okay, and I think those kind of habits are plays a vital role to our education during this pandemic time. It could be somehow difficult, but of course, as a teacher, challenges are accepted. Okay, so well, if your answer are honest, and I guess your school must be proud of you because you are a great teacher and you're doing a good job as an educator. Okay, but let me have some suggestions and more alternatives. So what you are doing, you have been doing now. Okay, so our speaking engagement is how then can we improve the positive learning in the new normal? Of course, we did a lot of things already for academic year 2020 to 2021, but I would like to just add more. Okay, and of course you can share after you can, as I go with my slide, you can share, you can speak up, and you can add some sharing. Okay, how can this be improve the positive learning in the new normal? Okay. Okay, when is the best time to start developing a positive learning in your class? Of course, this is the first days, not one day. It is the first days, this is the first weeks, it is the first month or months. And it's never too late to get started a positive learning in your class. Okay, so that is the big question, when is the best time to start? So, but I guess as a teacher, no, as me, I always the first week, the first month of the class is so important to build a relationship between a teacher, the parent, and the student. Those first month is so important because you are building your rapport, you as a teacher, and how do you relate with your students? Okay, and your colleagues, of course, and your superiors. And key concept number one, the 5E. Key concept number one is we have the 5E. Practices and learning performance in fully online classrooms in the new normal. Okay. Okay, we have this pre-class and in class. We have the 5E. So actually this is six because we engage. But it's still the 5E, engage. So what do you do in the 5E in this pandemic time? Of course, you must have some videos, some suri awit, some quotations, some motto, some any kind of motivation to your students. And what is the meaning of engage? I think engage is, though you are having your online, is you must relate their experience to your topic or to your subject or to your activity. Engage their past experience during pre-pandemic or before the pandemic time. So you must engage them, your activities and their experiences. So that is very important. And if you have engaged them, and then of course, you will have a soft and smooth class, interesting class, and then explore. How would you do the exploration? Of course, let your students do some sharing, do some analysis, do some problem solving. If you are not, you give them the science, try to relate this specific subject to another topic, or this topic to another topic. Okay, explore the topic or something that you ask them to do. So that is your the way you explore. Let them do the task and do some questioning and some answers. Okay, if the student X have a question, and then let the student Y answer. You don't have to answer all the questions. Let them share their ideas. If student Y have another answer, and then you call student A to have another answer to a certain question of your class, and then you let them explore. by themselves, because you engage them and then you try to explore the class and then explain why do you do to explain. Of course, as a teacher, as an educator, you must have the mindset that these are the things that we are in details particular. These are the things that we should learn this week, this day, and these are the topic, the concept that they must learn. It is very important that after the exploration, you explain. And then you can elaborate, of course. That's the later part. And then when guys, this is in class. Of course, perhaps you do this per class. Okay, so you have the kind of activity, and then in class is you just re-engage, and then you, of course you must have the summary of what they discuss. Okay, or you add more activity as a follow-up. Okay, and then you elaborate. So during the elaboration, you are giving the result, the result and the summary of what should be the important concept, context that the student must learn. And then, of course, you elaborate. So you evaluate. Of course, evaluation has many method and strategy. How do you evaluate the learning output or performance of your students? And this is very important. Now, performance evaluation of the performance or learning output of your student. Okay. So in this case, you must receive. You must receive the result of the learning output of your students. Okay. Okay. And then I gave you some, I guess this is kind of I gave some activity to my students, no. Okay, this is evaluation, integration, action, parang bintana. This is kind of bintana. You have so many activities and that we are giving to assessment, that we are giving to our students. But I find this very, kasi some of my students gave emotion, Superman, Dorna, and some characters, some in e-games. Okay, so they want, so I find it interesting to my student. Okay, so yung emotion, they're feeling, they feeling some, they feeling kind of low. Somehow this is important to know how your student feel about your topic. Okay, or about the day, not particularly you. Do not get the student behavior relatively only for you. Okay, so okay, next is creating positive learning environment. Okay, triggers learners interest. Okay, how do you create positive learning environment? Okay, this is key concept number 2. Okay, key concept number 2 is collective care. Kanina, no? Collective care. What do you mean by collective care? I use collective care, no, because external, internal, everybody, must give priority and care. Is emotional, physical. It's both emotional and physical care. Now, this is collective. Your colleagues, your superiors, your students, everybody in the house, inside and outside of your institution. So that's why we have collective care. This is the priority. Next is your relationship building, the relationship building of the students, self-awareness and self-management. It is so important that the student build a relationship, though online, to their classmates. And how do you do this? How do you build a positive relationship among your students? And self-awareness as the individual and at the same time a team. I always call my student in one class as a team. Section, let's say section C. So team C. Okay, so they are aware that they are in team C, individual and at the same time collective as a team, and self-management. Okay, so
Yan to check po.
self-management is how do you teach self-management among your students? Of course, they should be following your timetable.
Yes po.
You should be giving them the track. You should give them the schedule of everything. So self-management. You're not totally the deadline, no? Because today's pandemic, you give deadlines, of course, but of course you maximum tolerance.
Sir, dyan
Okay?
pa.
Coach, what is the difference between teaching and coaching? There's a big difference between teaching and coaching. When you coach is you let your student do their job. Do the explanation, do the exploration, and experiment on something and solve problem. You teach your student how to be a problem solver. You coach them. Let them do the task and explain whatever what is being expected from them. That is coaching. And then engage parent guardian as a partner. Why? You are not mere the sole frontliner of education. The parent are the frontliner educators of their children. Remember that. Today's pandemic, in this kind of online class, the parents are the frontliner educators of their children. You must always remember that. So always engage your parent or guardian as your partner. So it is important when you communicate them, look at them as partner, not as parent. Of course, as parent, but also as a partner. It's a good thing that you treat your parent and the guardian as a partner, not merely a parent or guardian of your students. And then set clear expectation for each individual team. Of course, what is your expectation in your subject? What is being expected from them? Why is your subject is important to their future? So set clear expectation and what is the expected learning output of performance from them. So this is important. And then practice meaningful integration of academics. What do you mean by this? Of course, is your subject so important as the other subject? Is your subject being taught is related to other subject? Is this vital to for their future in adult life? So set meaningful integration. Okay, so you must integrate, you must add, you must integrate your subject to academics, so it will be fruitful for them. Okay. So next is cultivate positive behavior. So how do you cultivate positive behavior among your students? Kanina pa tayo, no? In our previous slides at the beginning and our key concept, it is also important that it's important that must cultivate positive behavior. You cannot share what do you not have inside you. So before you start your class, before you sit on your, be sure that you feel good and you look good because it's the aura. This is the feeling that you are going to give to your class, and it's a domino effect. And how do you cultivate positive behavior among your students? Okay, everything must be well organized, well planned. If you have new learning output or new learning to your student, you might lay down all the cards, what organized. Everything must be planned, and what is your expectation, your objectives, the activities you are must be prepared. Why is this so important? Because if some problems occur or some unnecessary things happen, instantly you can troubleshoot or solve the problems because you are prepared as educator. And anything that will be handled or will be give to your students, you can instantly give them a alternative in positive. You are easy, you become a facilitator then, because you in a positive way, you're teaching your student to do their tasks in accordance with your expectation and their expectation as having your subject. So how do you cultivate? Organize first, well planned, and have all the alternatives. Okay. Likewise to your student, teach them how to do some alternatives, teach them how to organize, and teach them how to plan their tasks by individual, by team, or collectively. Okay. Next is key concept number 3, 5 simple things to do for fostering positive learning. Okay, I guess this is a kind of follow-up to yesterday's topic, no? 5 simple things. So let's find out if this is simple. Okay, 5. Okay, so greet them with a smile. It's good to think that teachers start the online class, show your face, smiling. And of course, why do you smile to your students? Okay, so it's give the positive aura that you are happy to see your student. You are happy to start the day. You are happy having them in your class. And then you are in good mood. And it will lighten. And of course, give them, oh, my teacher is smiling. So, diba? And of course, they will smile back to you. Okay, so greet them with a smile. Start when you open your cam, you smile. Okay, and get them moving. How do you get your student moving? What do you mean by get them moving? You can use the chat box. You can ask them something, present something. You can ask them questions. So mentally, emotionally, intellectually, cognitively, they are engaged in your class and talk their language. What do you mean by talk their language? I'm a teacher in 25 years, and I find it is so easy for me to talk with my student. Of course, if you know everything about your students. For me, no, it is better to know getting to know my student than knowing new celebrities. That is my motto. I must get to know my student first before I must getting to know those celebrities, because these are my students. These people are important to me, not those celebrities. It's awkward. It's kind of foul if you know those celebrities and you don't know who your students are. So and then when you getting to know your students is talk their language. What is their trend? What are the games that they are playing? What are the music that they like most? And then hear their music and see the games that they are playing. And what are the new terms that they are using? This is so important. And then you are having a smooth relationship with them. You are an educator, you are a teacher. That is important that you must know their language. Okay, work on yourself as an educator. This is what I'm telling you. You are an educator, of course, but you must know your student, their language, what they are into. So this is important. And celebrate success. Of course, how do you celebrate success with your student? If team A, whether they do less, they do more, and they are excellent in their task that you have given them. Celebrate success. Congratulations, Team A. You have a great job. You did great job. Congratulations, Team B. That is success in your team, and that is as a team you are united. You have cooperation. I think celebrate what they are submitted to you. If one of your students you have already 5 activities, and you ask one of your student for not having any or submitting any, and she at least submitted 1, congratulations. And I'm still waiting for the other. At least, take note of what is submitted to you, and then ask politely. As a teacher, you must also be polite, of course, to your student. Okay. And then next is key concept number 4, strategies for building a productive and positive learning. So what is in this, have you noticed the way I gave question to you at the beginning of my screen of my talk is the way I asked the question is from simple to complex. I asked you simple question and then critical question. Have you noticed the way I asked you questions a while ago? Okay, so in this slide is productive. So I include having a productive and positive learning. So now is you're having a positive learning, but how to be a productive learners. You're a positive teacher, and also you're a productive teacher. You're a positive colleague, and also you must be a productive colleague teacher, diba? As well as the student, teaching them how to be a positive and at the same time productive. Okay, let's move on. Okay, next is make learning relevant. Make learning relevant. How do you do this? How you make learning relevant? Relevant is if your subject is, you make your student feel happy. That's the most important thing. And you make your subject, be useful for their future. Are you teaching them? Are you the plan or the organization of your subject, of your activities, teaching them for their future? Do you think these activities, their tasks, your the organization of your lesson will make them a good citizen, strong person for the future, a responsible adult, so, and make them happy at the end? So make things, your learning relevant. You just don't teach knowledge. Okay, so make learning relevant. Can develop a code of conduct. It's somehow code of conduct. So parang it's somehow very, no? The code of conduct. What is code of conduct? Parang code of ethics for the teachers, code of conduct for the student. You must set a, of course, a rules and regulation for your teachers and be consistent. If you usually change your rules and regulation and you're not being consistent and you're not teaching them the code of conduct. Okay, so it must be, the mindset must be definite. You're teaching your student what is your rule and why are you doing it. And then what is expected from them as a student as they submit their activities and their tasks and their worksheets and their performance. How will they do it? And how will they have relationship to their classmates? Okay, so you must set the code of conduct to your students. Okay, number 3, employ a positive actions curriculum. What is positive actions curriculum? Okay, so we're having a diverse family, culture, and economic background of our student. And this thing mold them, shape them in their perception. Be mindful of this. Of course, we have different backgrounds, family, culture, and they have different perspective, mindset. So as educator, the parity, the equity, the equality must be set in your classroom. Be careful of what you are saying. It might hurt them because of the different background. Okay, diverse family, diverse culture, and diverse socio-economic background. Be careful in the languages that, or even your rule that you are telling to your student. Okay, so it is positive action curriculum. So your subject must be for all these students. Okay, reinforce positive behaviors. What you have told your students are all already positive in behaviors, and how do you reinforce them? So by giving them, so when you give scores to their activities, what are your reinforcement? You give hearts, you give feedback that this is you have reached you give them reinforcement by giving some emojis, some one word, phrase word, feedback. And you can also not announce it to your class. Give them some praises. Okay, so this is reinforce positive behaviors. Okay, and help students develop intrinsic motivation. Okay, so individual. So we have individual students. It is best that our students feel good in themselves. Diba? Likewise, because it positive behaviors follow. So intrinsic motivation is how do you make your student feel good about themselves, happy in going to your class. Have you experienced some of your students are present in your class but absent in other class during the online? Or the worst is they may be present in other class and absent, and that is sad. Why? So develop intrinsic motivation. So that is how you start the day, how you start your class, and how you end your class. Okay. And next is staying positive. I guess this is I almost done. Am I early? Positive, staying positive in the midst of virtual learning, staying positive. Okay, the things that the teachers must be positive is of course, with your collaboration with your colleagues, and of course with your superiors, no? And as a teacher, do not insist the things that you have no control of, especially to your students. Do not insist the things that you want to achieve and you do not have control of. That is one of the most important things. You'll be staying positive and always think of the difficulties of your student. I always believe that if the teacher has difficulty in teaching online, what more the students? If the teacher has a difficulty in staying online, is doing strong net, what about your students? Okay, so you must maximize your tolerance as a teacher. And as a teacher, you must accept all the challenges. It's not wise that the teacher is feeling negative about today's uh, um, new normal education. The teachers must be positive, accept the challenge, and do better, and improve and develop skills to be equipped in the 21st century during in this new normal. That is the job embedded to us as educators. Okay, and be thankful to all the blessings that we are receiving, small or big, new challenges, new experience. As 25 years in my teaching, I uh, I must accept that uh, I must learn more. I learn more. I learn in my students. I learn in my colleagues. I learn in my superiors. I learn new things in the people around me and in the environment. And that's the good thing when you are accepting all the learning. Teachers are learners too. No different parents, teachers. Okay, so that's the thing that we must inculcate in our minds. Okay, next is focus. Focus as a teacher. Now you are educator, so stay focused and do not forget you are a mentor, a coach, a friend, and a parent to your students. And thank you. And that's all for today. I'm Bernadette Palias de Cruz, and I'll be waiting for some of your queries. And I'm happy to be with you today. Okay,
Hi,
I
good
must stop
morning,
sharing
Ma'am Badat.
now.
Ma'am Badat, good morning.
Morning po.
George Atento po from INNOVIZON. Gusto ko lang pong mag-share ng thoughts ko about, can you hear me well po?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
Medyo
kasi,
maingay lang sa labas.
yeah. Well, kasi po yung binabanggit niyo about, positivism and all that, no? Yung school po namin, kasi nag-start na kami ng face-to-face being a tech voc sa Toyota Motor Philippines kami po. Kami yung first dito sa may Laguna na nag face-to-face. And nakikita ko po kasi na sa schools, hindi pa po talaga tayo nag face-to-face, no? Lalo sa DepEd. And actually ngayon yun yung main barricade, main problem natin, no, paano mag-face to face. Pero actually ang naging experience po namin, ma'am, is that hindi siya natatapos yung problem. Ang nangyayari po kasi is there are, katulad ng sinabi niyo, ma'am, no, merong mga kayang mag-online, merong hindi kaya mag-online. Merong kaya mag-flexible, merong hindi kaya talaga. Merong ang gusto lang talaga ay face to face. And then when you do start, ganun pa din po. Akala namin pag nag-start na ng face-to-face, it will be different and it will be, parang smooth sailing na. Ganun pa din po. The same problem exists. So, kaya ko po sinasabi yun, being, 2 years experience, 3 ECQs na yung naranasan namin. And ang nakikita ko po talaga bilang teacher, no, tama po yung sinasabi niyo pero gusto ko lang pong i-highlight yung, I think, things na talagang dapat natin i-bear in mind. And I can see two things na if you would forget everything that was said today, I think two things have to be remembered and understood by all of us teachers. And number one is flexibility. Yun, nabanggit niyo po yun kanina You know, you have to be flexible and start with the context, not of your own context, but the context of your children, of your students. Kasi as you said, ikaw nga nahihirapan mag-connect, di lalo sila, you know, and ang dami talagang concerns, no. If we start with a box kind of culture, you know, yung parang nakalagay ka lang sa box and, you know, pag hindi ka nakapag-log in, nakapag-online, bagsak ka or, you know, absent ka. That cannot be nakita ko yun na talagang a lot of people want to be part of the education, you know, but simply they cannot. There are so many things hampering them And kung dati ang abyss is just defined by rich and poor, the ones who can and the ones who cannot, the ones who have and the ones who don't have, hindi na po ganun eh. Merong
Yes.
kumbaga yung upper middle, middle, lower middle, sobrang super low class and all that. Define po ngayon yun. Not to mention the problems in the family, sickness in the family, deaths in the family. So which brings me to the second thing that I want us all to remember. Diba, number one is flexibility, and then number
Yes.
two is compassion. Kasi if
Yes.
we start with compassion, and everybody understands that you as a teacher is starting the whole ball game not with a sense of judgment, not with a sense of you have to reach this part or else you fail. Yung parang ganun. I'm sure hindi naman po tayo ngayon, hindi po tayo ganun, no? Kaya nga tayo nandito sa seminar to eh. We want to be more or less understanding and flexible. So yun po, I think that's my take eh. Nakita ko po talaga yung concern, no? And ako bilang admin head ng aming school, nakikita ko yung, syempre, these are teachers, well-mannered, well-to-do. They want to preserve education and they know that they cannot pass these students without them understanding a thing. So mastery versus compassion. Parang okay, if they can't master the thing, why will you pass them? So sabi ko, ang gagawin lang natin, mga pare, kasi baka lalaki yung ano ko dahil automotive. You don't fail them, just put incomplete. Give them flexibility. Kaya nga po kami, yung Canvas namin, yung learning management system namin, it's not synchronous. Gusto ko pong i-highlight din yun eh. Yung synchronous po kasi nahihirapan talaga yung mga, katulad ng ginagawa natin ngayon, no? Masyadong mahirap sa mga bata. And nahihirapan sila mag-online. Malaki ang data na kailangan, lalo pag naka-video lahat. So synchronous is really hard for them. It's expensive. So if we can do asynchronous more rather than synchronous. And asynchronous, if you want to look at it, yan yung nasa Coursera, Udemy, if you're familiar with those things. And even what INNOVIZON is doing, yung asynchronous means at your own pace. Syempre may mga takeaway, may mga may mga problems din involved doon, no? It's not perfect, it's not the ideal. Pero once you look at it, it's the best thing to do right now kasi that's all we have right now, so yun, binabati ko po kayo, Ma'am Mabedet. Very 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 inspiring yung message today, and of course our teachers na nandito po, thank you very much for attending. Napakaganda po ng binigay ng mga insights ni Ma'am. Kahit po yung yesterday when I saw the rerun, yung video na chinek ni Miss Che, although medyo silent yung ating participants, pero I'm sure, sabi nga sa Bible eh, Mary looked at everything and pondered it in her heart. So I hope that we are just like Mama Mary, pondering everything in our heart. So maligayang araw po, and Ma'am Badet, thank you very much for your insights po. George Atento
Yes,
po from INNOVIZON.
Yes, I just wanna add, sir. I kept telling this to my teachers, no? Kasi pag nagagalit sila na ayaw matuto ng mga estudyante or hindi makuha, not everybody can be managers, can be an engineer, can be a doctor. Perhaps some student can be an entrepreneur by themselves. So do not insist the thing that you have no control of. Diba? Not everybody can be a doctor, can be an engineer or a scientist or an architect. So I'm always telling them that. And you know, your student, they will be successful in the area, the field that they want to. You can never tell the future. Just be patient and of course, compassion and flexibility. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions or any sharing from our audience?
Wag po kayong mahiya. Please share po your thoughts. I'm sure you have all your concerns and yung mga pinagdadaanan natin ngayon. Of course, mga teachers ay frontliners din. So yun po. Paki-share lang po ng inyong mga insights.
And perhaps I may add that in safety, physical safety of individual or the teachers, it's also a good thing that you'll be a part of the external holder and the internal holder of your school. So you grow more as a teacher and share with your colleagues. No, collaborative effort is needed today. Don't play individual. Okay, thank you. Any questions and suggestions and sharing? I guess that's all for today. Any, I guess the MC will say something.
Sige po. Sir Oscar? Sir Dante?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Sir Dante.
Sir.
Kumusta po?
So, Ma'am Bade, thank you so much for that wonderful and engaging presentation of yours. Well, in the first minute of your presentation is that I'm so very attached with the questions, checking the attendance, updating activities, give feedback to your students, maximizing the chat in the chat box, and filling it with necessary things about the class. So I think, ma'am, in this time of pandemic, in this time of new learning system that we have, it is very important pa din na we are checking the student. We are updating what they need to do, what they need to learn, what they need more to do for them to grow. We should guide them despite of this pandemic. And also, ma'am, I want to give emphasis to the word of positive. Each teacher, everyone, we should be positive always because we can affect the students, the people that surrounds us. We, the teacher, we have the responsibility to role wherein we need to teach the student to be positive and to grow more in this time of pandemic. So, ma'am, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation of yours. Now, let's go on with the presentation of certificates. Let me call Mr. Oscar Abonita.
Sir, naka-mute ka po. Sir Oscar, unmute. Sir Oscar po. Pa-unmute po, Sir Oscar. Sir Oscar. Sir Oscar, we cannot hear you. Okay.
Yes,
Paulit
sir.
lang po, sir.
Apa.
Okay.
I am here to award this certificate of commendation to Bernadette Pales de la Cruz for her excellent performance as a resource speaker on the online CPD training entitled International Seminar Workshop on Fostering Positive Learning in the New Normal, conducted from August 6 to 8, 2021. Given this 7th day of August 2021, signed by Dr. Ramon George A. Atendo, President INNOVIZON, Cherry Anne-Marie H. Espilita, MBCA, Vice President INNOVIZON, Jacqueline M. Aday, Vice President Institutional Club. That's all po, sir. Thank you po, ma'am, and
Thank you, sir.
God bless everyone. See you tomorrow po at the same time, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. po.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Good day, everybody. Thank you.
Good
For
day
having
po.
me as a speaker. It is my honor to be your speaker today. Thank you.
Ano pa?
Thank you po, ma'am.
Yes, pa.
Bye. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, sir. sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Badet. Sir Oscar,
Thank you
Sir
po.
Dante. Thank you very much po.
Thank you po. Bye-bye po. Bye-bye.
Dala na lang po namin yung video.
Apo,
Bye,
thank
ma'am.
you po. Bye-bye.
Sir.
Bye, sir. Bye-bye po. Thank you.